Hey friend, what's up? In today's video, we're going to cover September's patch notes. I'm going to give you my thoughts on the changes. I'm pretty excited. So let's take a look. So first on the list, we have Dolly Nightgardener. She is an Amazon. She is a 4-mana 3/3 and she's changing to a 4-mana 3/5. Her text is whenever a friendly creature is healed, summon an injured sprout. So I don't know if she's going to fit into Amazon lists or wild. Still kind of in a weird spot, but definitely better, right? But not amazing. Hector, Prince of Troy, used to be a staple of Control War, right? They took Frontline and they took Leech away. So let's see what they added. 2 Roar. If any creature in your void have Blitz, Leech, Protected Twin Strike, or Ward, this creature gains those. Awesome. So that is a huge buff. Yeah, that's huge. That's fantastic. I'll take it. Okay, well, Hector, Prince of Troy, is now S tier. If not S, maybe A. Control War is not super played a lot. But yeah, that's huge. Being able to heal 12 in one turn from hand is amazing. So for instance, no, it has 7 attack now. It used to be a, oh wow. Okay, so it used to be a 7-mana 6/6 with a Leech and Frontline were the extra tags. They took those away after the core set refresh. They left it a 7/7 and gave it Leech. So like you can heal from hand, you can heal 14, right? It wasn't like a, that's fantastic. Okay, I say Hector is S tier now. Very cool. Love to see it. Okay, so nerfs. Unrestrained Power, text change text from give +2 strength to your relic, and power 3, then double the strength of your relic, which was crazy because on turn 5 you could kill someone. So they're changing it to give +2 strength to your relic, and power 3, double the strength of your relic instead. Okay, so losing the 2 extra strength is actually pretty huge. So the turn 5 lethal isn't really there, but it's still really good. I like it. I still think the card's really good. So Inescapable Duty. Change text from pull a creature from your void to your hand, give it +2/+2, and power. Do the same thing again, right? You pull another one for +2/+2. So the original, right, you could play for 3, and then for 3 more if you empowered it, you get double value. So new text. Pull a creature from your void to your hand, give it +2/+2, and Soulless. Power 3, blah blah blah, again, and Soulless. That's fantastic. So you can still get a lot of value out of it. You're gonna have to play it a bit more cautiously, I'd say. Like you can't really just throw your embalmers away expecting to get them back. I mean, you can still get 4 embalmers, right? Which is really good. I still think the card's really strong, even with Soulless. Yeah, I think it's a step in the right direction. I'm a big fan of Soulless, so I'm really happy to see that. Yeah, so it closes the loop, which is really important. Like before, you could just infinitely loop your embalmers and your Inescapable Duty, and so now like it forces it closed. It's still a super high value card, but love to see it. Ranella Sparrow. So I believe originally released as a 2/2 with Ward and Hidden, and then they thought that was kind of too strong because there's a card in Light that gets played fairly often that is a 1-mana 2/2 with Ward but not Hidden. So they changed it to a 2/1, and now they are taking it down to a 1/1. I think that's pretty bad. I think it's bad now. Yeah, that seems pretty terrible. That's just a dead card. RIP. Okay, so next we have Selfless Guildmate. Text change from Hidden for 1 turn, Roar, give +2 strength to a friendly guild creature, to give +2 strength to a friendly guild creature. It loses Hidden. I don't think it's a huge deal. I mean, like, unless on turn 4 you're playing Selfless Guildmate, buffing something, going face, and doing something else, and everything dies, but your Selfless Guildmate, because it's hidden, and then you're able to get it with a Reflection Elementalist. Aside from that, like having a hidden 1/1, I guess it matters, right? Like unless your opponent has reach, like AoE reach, they can't really deal with it. and maybe that 1 point of damage makes the difference in a hit and rush game. But I don't think it's bad now. It's just not as good, right? It got like a tiny bit worse, but it's still good, I think. So Switchblade Duelist. This nightmare of a card can snowball very quickly. Also guild. So text change, let's go. Change text from hidden at the end of your turn. Swap this creature's strength and health to hidden for 1 turn. At the end of each turn, swap. Okay, that's huge. Permanently hidden is so much scarier than hidden for 1 turn. Yeah, okay, I like that. So it's not guaranteed 3 damage to face, right? Like once it's down, like it has to be played. You can't just leave it hidden for 1 monster turn, especially with Merrick and some other cards that synergize fairly well with it. Yeah, I like that. Very good. Ooh. Land of the Dead. Land of the Dead. Text change. Select up to 6 1-mana Nubians from your void and ruin your opponent's day. I'm kidding. No. And summon them to the board and then ruin your opponent's day. 2. Summon up to 5 1-mana Nubians from your void. Good. And give them Solace. And then ruin your... No, I'm kidding. Wow. Okay. So I like this because the Nubians are so hard to deal with, even without Land of the Dead. Reach into the black, Skull Scepter, and all of the heirlooms are very, very, very difficult, especially if they curve out decently. Like they can push so much damage by 6. Land of the Dead has to be your lethal, right? You're not going to use this and think, well, I'll get them really low, and then I'll just kind of rely on killing them later with another one or some other things. I think that's huge. That is a huge nerf. The card Solace is huge because their whole thing is, right, I kill them and then I bring them back and then I kill them again and I bring them back. So closing the loop. I don't think you really need Land of the Dead. I think it's like a bonus card anyway. Most of the time I'm dead before Land of the Dead comes out, and that's just like the extra, like, see how much damage I could have done. Like I could have killed you twice. So I like that, right? They get 1 less, and they're gonna have to save it for lethal. So getting this out on 6, probably not going to be something we see quite as much. Probably 7, right? And then your day will be ruined and you'll be dead. But yeah, I like it. So changes. Okay. All right. Changes. Enlightenment text change from really bad and never get played. No, I'm kidding. Enlightenment. So mana cost reduced from 4 to 3. That's a big deal. Change from give a -5 strength to a creature and remove frontline from it. So like yeah. I don't know. I think Imperious Might was a better option. And Excommunicate a better option even, or Wrong Path, right? You draw a card that's a better option than what Enlightenment was. Anyway, so discard 2 cards, look at your deck, and pull 2 cards to your hand, then shuffle your deck. Interesting. So that's really strong. So there's a neutral card from Trial of the Gods called Trial Begins, and it costs 3 mana also, and you can pull 1 creature from your deck to your hand. I believe it has to be from your God's domain also, with no downside, where this is the same cost, but you discard 2 and then pull 2. So you're losing 2 cards from your deck, but you're gaining them back in your hand, so you're not really losing tempo besides the 3 mana, and then you reshuffle your deck. I feel like that can be really strong in a control deck. I'm curious to see how it gets used. So if I don't have any creatures left in my hand and I want to pull my Asterius, maybe it could work for an aggro deck. I don't know. That's interesting. I'm curious to see how it goes. I don't think it's a bad card. I think that's really good. Yeah, I think that could be really, really strong. So Nithos Mageweaver text changed. Okay, I thought this was awful. I think this is probably... It was the most useless legendary from the Mortal Judgment set by far. So it was a 1/2, right? And the text was ability, unlock a mana lock for this turn, so 1 turn, refresh 1 mana. And you can empower for 2, right? So for 2 more mana, so for 3 mana, you can deal 2 damage to the weakest enemy creature. It's so bad. So stat change and text change. So it goes from a 1/2 to a 2/2, which is good, right? That's a step in the right direction. 2, after you play a spell, draw a creature of the same mana cost. After you play a creature, draw a spell of the same mana cost. I think that's going to be really good. In card draw magic or tempo magic, because there isn't a condition per turn. Like, you can have like a really huge swing turn, right? If you have an Oni on the board and you're around like turn 6 and they manage to not kill it, you play this. I think it's 2 mana, right? Let's take a look. Right, so you play this for 2 mana, and you can play, I don't know, 2 1-mana creatures. So 2, that's 4, your Oni gets 2 more, now your Oni gets 3 attack at that point, and then for each of the 1-mana creatures you play, you draw 2 spells, and you can go face with them. Yeah, that seems like you can get just one huge snowbally damage turn. It's really interesting. I think Tempo Magic is going to be scary again. I really like that. Right, so if they kill your Palace Wand, you're going to have more ways to draw. If you don't get Validated Demetrius, like this kind of late game is just one big turn, right? Like it's going to be interesting. Yeah, I like it. So Alika, Scarlet Thief, and Echo. So text change from a 1/4 to a 3/4. This is huge because Bound by Will is a card. Sure. So, right, I used to take 1 strength from the strongest creature, enemy creature, and give it to the weakest creature. No, just strongest creature and give it to the weakest, not enemy or friendly condition. So, pretty not great. Okay, 2, Echo, at the start of your opponent's turn, pick 1, delve a relic or rune, give it to your opponent. Your opponent draws a card, discard a card. So you can use it to mill your opponent. You delve a relic or a rune to give to your opponent, or you just discard a card. So I'm not sure if your opponent is discarding a card, or if you are discarding a card, because if it's going to make you discard a card... Okay, let's read that. To Echo, at the start of your opponent's turn, they pick 1. So they can delve a rune or a relic, right, for me. I think, right, because they are picking this. So while I have this on the board, it is a 3 mana 3/4. That is not bad, right? That's a Veil Warden. No, I'm sorry, that's a Hunt Warden. Veil Warden Minotaur. No, yeah, the Hunt Warden, the Amazon from the Welcome set, right? So they're going to delve me a relic or rune. They're going to allow me to draw a card, or they are going to discard a card, and this is a 3/4 with an Echo. That's super annoying. And if you play both on 1 turn, you play your 3/4 for 3 mana and a 1/1 for 3 mana. On your opponent's turn, they're either going to draw you 2 cards, give you a relic and a rune, or discard 2. Interesting. I feel like that's pretty strong. That's a lot better for sure than whatever nonsense they had before. I like that. Metamorphosis. Oh god. Okay. Change text from targeted creature. Delve a creature that costs 1 more mana, then transform the target creature into that creature to transform a friendly creature. Whoa, that's huge. So you can't target enemy creatures anymore. So it's not a 2 mana ratify, which is nice. So you can only, transform a friendly creature into a random creature that costs 1 more mana. That's huge. Okay. If it's still 2 mana, I don't see Metamorphosis getting played quite as much. Like Delve is just so good. Delve is amazing. And so like you could use Metamorphosis to turn your enemy's frontline into the weakest option, right? Or give yourself just like pretty much a free win if you draw Avatar Magic off your Healing Elite or more mag. Okay, so it's more of a gamble. It is a gamble now. There's more RNG involved. So I don't know if it gets played at a really high level. It can be fun and like maybe some meme decks, but like you can definitely low roll. Non-user facing changes. We've made a major change to how we implement effects on cards that change the stats, which standardize the underlying implementation, making development easier and opening up more design space. It impacts 900 cards, which cover creatures, refresh mana, damage, healing, etc. Awesome. That sounds important. Well, this was the September patch notes. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you. Let me know what you think. Like, subscribe. Bye, friends.